If you want a delicious frozen dessert that is dairy-free with no added sugars, you've got to try this Copycat pineapple whip freeze that is so easy and delicious. Hi everybody, welcome back to Clean Eating Kitchen. I'm Carrie and this is where I share real food recipes that help you feel great. All my recipes are dairy-free and gluten-free, and that helps me manage my PCOS and autoimmune conditions. So if you're in the same boat and you want to cook this way and learn really easy recipes, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. So the recipe we're making today is actually a copycat recipe that can be found at Disneyland and also now at Taco Bell. It's called a Dole Whip or a pineapple whip freeze. I'm calling it a pineapple freeze whip. But we're making it right at home in our food processor and we only need 4 ingredients. The first ingredient we have is 2 cups of frozen pineapple chunks. Now I just bought these at Trader Joe's and measured out 2 cups, and they are going to be the base of our pineapple freeze whip. And then I also have 1 ripe banana. I froze it in chunks so it'll be easy to blend. And then I have a half a cup of coconut cream. And then I have about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, if I were going to make just the Disneyland version, which is the Dole Whip, I would just use the pineapple and maybe a little tiny bit of maple syrup. But since we're making kind of our blended version, the pineapple freeze whip, we're going to use these 4 ingredients, and the coconut cream is going to add creaminess and decadence, and we don't need any added sugar. The fruit will add enough natural sweetness. Now we are going to use a food processor for this recipe, and I know I will get questions about making it in a blender, but it is ideally suited for a food processor. And the reason is because if you used a high-speed blender, like a Vitamix or a Blendtec, you would probably need to add a little bit more liquid to get it to blend, and it would just be a little bit more difficult. You can do it in a blender, but a food processor is ideal. And I just have my Cuisinart fitted with the S blade. So let's go ahead and add our pineapple. Next, we'll add our frozen banana. Then we'll add our coconut cream and our vanilla. So we're at the end of summer. Of course, it's been a really strange summer this year. It kind of feels like we didn't have a summer because we haven't really been able to go anywhere or do anything. But where I live here in California, it's supposed to be really hot this weekend. So I'm not quite ready to say goodbye to summer, and that's why I wanted to share this frozen dessert recipe with you just for kind of a last fun summertime recipe. So I've added all the ingredients to the bowl. We're just going to lock on the lid. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of when you eat pineapple? I always think of vacations in Hawaii. I've mentioned this before, but that's my absolute favorite place to go on vacation. And so this pineapple whip freeze is going to remind me of a summertime vacation, and I sure wish I was there now. Okay, let's blend this. And by the way, I will link to this food processor in the description box. So I want to let you know that it's gonna look like you want to add more liquid to this, but you have to resist that urge to add more liquid and just let the food processor do its thing. You can stop and scrape down the sides if you want to, but really it's just ideal to let the food processor run for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then it will turn into this delicious kind of soft serve like consistency. But again, you don't want to add really any liquid because then it could end up more like a smoothie, where we want it to be more like an ice cream texture. And so I'm going to just let it run for a few minutes. And I also wanted to let you know that I will link the full description or the full recipe in the description box. Okay, so that took about, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 minutes, and it looks perfect. It is exactly the consistency we wanted. Let me show you. Oh my gosh, it is so creamy. It just looks like the perfect tropical flavored dessert. And I also wanted to mention that if you don't like banana, you can leave the banana out. You can just maybe add a little bit more pineapple, or you can add a little bit of frozen mango chunks instead of the banana. And the reason is because bananas and mango have soluble fiber, and so they actually make it a little bit creamier than if you just use pineapple. So let me put some in a bowl. Let's add it to the bowl. So this amount made probably about 4 servings, and you can easily double or triple this recipe. And also I wanted to mention that it's best served right after you make it. You can freeze it if you want it to be even thicker and more solid, but I wouldn't freeze it overnight because it will freeze into a very like giant pineapple mass. So I'm gonna taste it. Wow, this is amazing. I love this recipe. It is very strong in pineapple flavor. And again, it just takes me to a tropical island. So I hope you try this frozen pineapple whip, freeze, whatever you want to call it. It's a vegan and dairy-free recipe. It's perfect for paleo diets or vegan diets, plant-based diets, and it's great for kids. It has no added sugar. So I hope you love it, and I hope you're staying cool. And I will link to one of my other favorite dairy-free dessert playlists with a whole bunch of videos you might want to check out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Oh, I used delicious twice. Oh well. Okay.
Take 3.
No. Pineapple whip freeze. It's called a Dole Whip or pineapple whip freeze. I always have trouble with lids. What the heck? Oh, I think I got it. Woohoo! Okay, ooh, that is,
That's a wrap.
that's really yummy actually.